Hello and welcome to our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 18.
Today is a very busy day for us because we are checking out from our 3-bedroom here at Kidani Village and heading over to Beach Club. But it's also the first day of the Festival of the Arts, so we have a lot going on, but we're very excited because when we first got up this morning, we went out on our balcony and got to see a lot of animals again, which again, we had a standard view, so we didn't know if we'd see any. So this was really exciting. We just enjoyed being out there. It was a beautiful morning. So we were just out there for a really long time, just seeing how many animals we could see.
Yeah, it was like, we have to check out by 11, so maybe we should just stay till 11 hanging out on the balcony because it's just so cool to be able to see the animals from your room. It's a very unique experience.
It is really cool, and the only place to do it is at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So we did pack up that morning. All of us got out. We called Bell Services. They transferred our luggage for us, and we headed over to Beach Club. Now, while we were there, Robert did have a call with a client, so we kind of went off there. A lot of areas in Beach Club where you can just kind of sit down. So we found a couple of those. He sat down, had his call, and then our room was ready early, which was really exciting.
Yes, it was. So we headed up to the room. Of course, we had to take pictures of the details in the room, things like that, do our 360 pictures. And then once again, we said, all right, we've had the Polynesian bungalow and the 3-bedroom grand villa. If we go live on Facebook with this room tour, do you think people will watch it? Like, it's just a normal room. It is a deluxe resort at Beach Club, right? But it's not like a grand villa. So we decided to go live and see what happens, and people watched it and people really liked it and said we'd love to see more of these. So that was kind of the final solidification of the fact that we should be doing video room tours of every room. So we went live on Facebook, and again, you can see the terribly shaky footage. I'll give you a little preview here. This here is our room. We're gonna be checking out the water view that we have here in the room. So this is not one of the Vacation Club suites that we've been staying in the last couple stays. So there's not a full kitchen here or anything like that. They do have a little Keurig, or not a Keurig, a Cuisinart that, you know, makes single serve cups of coffee. So if you do want to see the rest of that shaky footage from Beach Club with the awesome water view room we had there, you can always check it out in the link in the description that is unlisted on YouTube for obvious reasons, or also the link up above my head there. And we have not made it back to Beach Club to get an updated version of this video because they haven't yet reopened from the closure in 2020. It was on our list to do last year, and then of course everything happened. So eventually when Beach Club does reopen, assuming they do open as planned later in the summer, we will get an updated version of that. And once we do, we'll go ahead and throw that link in the description down below as well.
Because we were staying at Beach Club, we were able to walk over to Epcot, which was a really neat experience for us. We had not done that before.
Yeah.
So we walked over to Epcot and just started looking around, and we were blown away. We had never been to Festival of the Arts before. We didn't know what to expect. We knew we loved Food and Wine Festival. We've been there many times, and of course Robert loving food. We both do.
Yeah.
But we didn't even know that they had so many food options at Festival of the Arts, let alone all the other performing arts that they had.
Yeah, I kind of looked at Festival of the Arts and said, oh, that's cool. I like art. You know, I like to go to museums, but I'm the guy that is annoying at the museum because he goes and reads every little card and every bit of information in that museum. I'm going to consume it before I leave or until they kick me out. So I was thinking I'm going to go to the Epcot and look at art. I don't really understand. I mean, I'm not going to buy any art. I live in the resorts. So there's really, what's there for me? I didn't realize it was also culinary arts and performing arts. And that was what kind of made me fall in love with the festival, was how much they had there as far as the different types of the arts.
One of our favorite performing arts that they had were the living statues. They are so talented. They can stand still for so long. I don't even know how they do it. So we took lots of pictures with them, took some video clips. It was just so much fun. And then we stood back and watched them interact with other guests. And that is so much fun to do because they change the positions they're in, but they do it quickly, but when people aren't looking. So if someone goes to take a picture, they're in one position, and then before the picture's taken, they change. And that was really fun because one of them actually stole a kid's hat. No, that had to have been the best picture ever because the kid was just over here doing this and mom snapping pictures.
Completely oblivious, yeah.
It was amazing. We spent so much time just watching them because they're just so cool to see and they're so unique.
And they used to have that actually at Epcot all the time. I think it was in France, but it was just one person. It wasn't 3 or 4. and they did the living statue show thing, and it was the same concept. You come up and they'd move in between pictures and stuff, but it was just out there in the middle of the walkway in France, and so it kind of drew a huge crowd for the same reason. It was a really fun thing to see, and I've missed that since it left. So I was super pumped to see these people out and performing, because I haven't seen them since I was a kid, so it was a really cool experience.
Now, of course, this being Festival of the Arts, we did walk around looking at the artwork. We don't have many pictures except Star Wars ones, because that's pretty much what Robert took pictures of that day.
I found 3 different Boba Fett paintings that I loved. Didn't buy any, of course. Again, I lived in the resorts, but I took pictures of 3 different ones, and I was like, these are really cool. Maybe one day I'll buy them. And I still haven't gone back to buy those because I found one I like even better and got that instead.
But there is so much art to look at, and we highly recommend just taking time to look at it and see it, because these are such talented people. And not all of it's Disney, which is really cool too. I think one of my favorite ones was the cat one, because I'm a huge cat fan too.
Yeah.
But of course we love Disney too, but apparently all we have are Star Wars pictures, so
But I'm
we hope
okay
you enjoy
with that.
those.
I'm okay with that because I love Boba Fett, and I appreciated the fact that before Mandalorian came out and like revived his popularity, they actually had some pieces with him in it, because he's kind of a fan favorite, but he was kind of ignored when it comes to merchandise and when it comes to art and things like that. So I appreciated that at least a couple of the artists had featured him in some stuff before he came back and got really popular. And then, of course, there are the culinary arts, and we wanted to enjoy some of the best of these as we went around the world. There are the different booths around the world that have different foods and desserts, and we tried a few different ones. We didn't eat as much as we normally would at a festival. We were really there just to kind of take it all in and enjoy it, but we were hungry, so we tried a few different snacks all around the world, some of which are available again in 2021, some of which haven't come back, but we really enjoyed ourselves snacking around between the beef and the chicken in Germany. We got the Painter Palette chocolate chip cookie that, of course, Alyssa could only have a very small amount of because it had all the multicolored icing on top, and even the pancake milkshake, which was in honor of Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and I was so excited about this pancake milkshake, I just had to make a little video.
Pancake, milkshake, pancake, milkshake, pancake, milkshake, pancake, milkshake.
I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that gem of a video. I know I laughed very hard when we found it again.
Yep.
There are little things that we don't remember until we see them again, and they're just so enjoyable to relive, which is the point of these videos. Now, they also had things like paintbrush churros, and we had chicken and popped art, not Pop-Tarts.
No, not Pop-Tarts.
Popped art. Because only Disney could figure out how to get away with that.
Yeah.
And they had something fun for the kids, which I say for the kids, we bought it
We got
too,
it, and
so
she loved it, so.
it was a white chocolate puzzle that actually came with a little paintbrush and some icing so that you could actually paint the puzzle pieces. It was just the coolest thing. It was adorable. So that was super fun. We just painted one little piece, and Robert had that, and then I had the rest.
Yep, she got to have all the rest of it because there was no food coloring on it.
Yeah, so that was really fun. They just have so many amazing, pretty pieces of art to eat, which is awesome. That's part of the reason we love it, because Disney generally does a really good job with the food anyway, but the presentation is like one step above their normal, and that's what makes this festival so much fun. Like,
I love it.
They get so creative with it. I'm sure the chefs, they must love this festival.
I have a lot of fun eating the food too, but I think seeing the food is half the fun at this festival, because you're right, they do take the presentation and just kind of kick it up a little bit. They bring in a lot more edible flowers and a lot more like different painting on the plates and things like that. Just all the little flourishes, the little presentation pieces that they don't necessarily do for the festival snacks. They bring them in for Festival of the Arts, and I just love snacking, of course, but seeing them as we snack too. At this point, we started heading back towards our resort. We were gonna walk all the way around the countries again and out the International Gateway, but we stopped in Germany just to see the a cappella German group that was singing there. They were very talented, and it was a lot of fun to watch, so we thought we'd share just a small clip of that with you.
Ich liebe Deutschland. Viva Colonia. Was kommt denn da für ein Wüstekrach aus Frankfurt, Darmstadt, Offenbach? Was lernt die Klasse Gießen und Wiesbaden bloß so gnadenlos? Was tut den Bayern, Schwaben, Friesen gründlich jeden Spaß vermiesen? Was tobt seit vielen Wochen schon eine schaurig schöne Invasion? Erbarmen, better zu spät. Die Rheinland-Pfalz. Dort wird die Wutz geschlagen. Dort aus wird Wurst gemacht.
As you can see, they were super entertaining and very, very
Love
talented.
them.
And we met a very interesting cast member while we were there. He was there working on the EQ for the audio of the show, and I saw he had the iPad and he was working, so I didn't bother him while he was working. But as soon as the show was over, I went up and introduced myself and asked him why his name tag looked different than other people's name tags. Because his was not plastic, it was made of wood. And I have never heard of that or seen that before. And he told me that he is one of a few people who is not an Imagineer that has the wooden name tag, and he was awarded that because it is given to people who have made an extraordinary environmental impact. And so, of course, I had to know the story behind this.
Obviously.
And if I'm hoping I don't get the details wrong, and if he watches this and corrects us, feel free, like in the comments, let us know. But he had the idea, working in PA with all the wireless microphones they have, to recycle their batteries, because when you're working with PA in a live show, you don't want to let batteries go dead. You take them out at 50% or 60%. So there's still good use in the batteries, but you can't use them on stage. So in order to recycle those and reuse those, he recommended that they take those used batteries and use them in the demo glow products at all the carts and stores around Epcot. So then instead of taking the packages off the shelf and unwrapping them and putting the brand new batteries out there and just turning on the light up spinners and letting them sit there till they die, you use the 60% batteries and kill those, so that when you do dispose of the batteries, there's nothing left in them. They're completely used up. And that right there went so well at Epcot that they rolled it out across all the parks, and I believe across all properties worldwide. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me, but just such a cool story of, think about the millions and millions of batteries that have been recycled that way, just from one person recognizing a need in their daily job and bringing it up and it being implemented. It just was the coolest thing to meet him. So that was a really, really fun experience meeting him.
It was really neat, and hearing his story, and like Robert said, that was the impact of one person. Like, cast members are amazing, and so many times we don't know their stories. And that was part of the reason we started Starring Cast on Instagram, because we just wanted to showcase some of those stories. Of course, not knowing we were going to meet someone like that and sharing that story, but it was really neat to get to meet him. And we continued heading out. I actually went to take a picture, and Robert apparently, without my knowledge, went and took some PhotoPass pictures. Now, he did not tell me he did this, so I had no idea until later that night when I was going to download the pictures from the day, and I found these. Now, I laughed because obviously the one picture is supposed to have two people in it, and he just went and took pictures by himself. But then he had the brilliant idea to Photoshop this picture. So he included himself in both pictures. I'm apparently unneeded and unnecessary. So he put himself in both pictures for this little
You're
gem.
always needed and necessary
Aw,
and
thanks,
wanted. But in that picture, it was great that it was both
I
me,
was not
because it was
needed.
funnier. It was funnier with just me.
It was hilarious. So we had fun with that. But again, he didn't tell me about it, which made it even funnier later on when I'm going through going, what in the world? So I didn't even know he took those pictures. While we were heading out, we decided, I was actually really hungry because as much as we took pretty pictures that day, I really didn't eat that much. So we went over to Beaches and Cream. It was probably 20 minutes before they closed.
Yeah, they closed at 11, I think, and it was like 10:30. It was really late, and we thought, well, Beaches and Cream is really hard to get into, especially before they remodeled. So we didn't have reservations, but we were hoping that late at night we could walk up and get a spot, right? So we walked up and we asked, and they said, well, we actually keep the counter open for walk-ups. So if you're willing to sit at the counter on the bar stools, then sure, you can come on in. We'll sit wherever we have to because we're hungry. We want to get food.
We had never eaten at Beaches and Cream before, and we ended up meeting a really sweet cast member that we would go back multiple times and ask for her specifically, hoping she'd be working. So we just got to enjoy the meal, and then we got, of course, an ice cream, and this would be the first time that I had a No Way Jose.
Not the last time, just the
Definitely.
first time.
Yes, and that is when I found out how much I love the No Way Jose there, and would end up getting it many, many times after that.
Yes, you did. And I, of course, was always willing to chip in and help her eat it because that's the kind of amazing husband I am.
He's a sweetheart.
I will
guys.
not let you hurt yourself eating too much ice cream. I will eat some of it for you.
Thanks. I'm not sharing with you, but I appreciate it. At this point, we are now on a sugar high. We are very full, so we walked ourselves over to Beach Club, And that is our entire day for the day. So we will see you tomorrow.
For our year with the ears.